Hi. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's having a good night. My hair is not cooperating tonight. I still feel like I'm forgetting something. What am I forgetting? I'll figure it out eventually. But how's everyone doing? Give me one second. I'm back. Oh, it's a story live stream. Welcome in. I do believe I have kept you guys waiting long enough. I've kept you guys waiting for like an hour already. So, grab your Storykeeper's cups, grab a blanket, grab a stuffy if you have one, and snuggle up because it's story time. I can't stop staring at that rectangle of light. For the first couple of days, it represented so many things: hope, my chance of escape. Now there's only the. What? Sorry, my brain just short circuited. Now there's only the abject terror that courses through my veins when he lifts the door and walks down the steps. He's here, demanding that we go over the scene over and over, even though I know my lines by heart. Right up to the part where the script cuts off without telling how it ends. But I know how it ends. I've seen the movie. It ends with me plunging backwards through a glass coffee table. Dead. He approaches me, and I try not to flinch. One of my strategies is to make him think of me like a friend, not a victim. Like we have a report. To humanize myself. That might even be working. Brought you everything, he says. Can you lean forward like that? Thanks. Sorry, I heard something outside. He reaches around my neck and fastens a thin gold chain, then looks down at it, frowning. What is it? I ask, trying to see. Thank you. I smile, giving him as trusting a gaze as I can summon. But the look in his eyes chills the warmth from my smile. It's nothing, he says coldly. A cheap imitation. It's totally disposable. Then he walks away. Hey, Wyatt said. Look at me. Take a breath. You're here. You're okay. Oh, right. Time skip, by the way. Sorry. I blinked, hearing his voice and obeying his words without questioning them. You had another episode, he said. Yeah, I breathed. No kidding. He called her Lore. L'Oreal? Wyatt's mouth was set in a grim line as he automatically flipped open the notebook and started making notes. I will be right back. Okay. I'm back. Where was I? Any new information? I shook my head. No, but there was something weird about the necklace. I think it might have been different this time. Time to skip again. After school, Mom had to run to the mall, so I made her drop me off at home first. As I opened the front door, I heard a low rumbling sound. I didn't think anything of it. For a second at least. There was always... sorry. There was always construction going on in the neighborhood. People pulling down old houses to build new ones. Or repairing parts of their houses so they wouldn't slide down the hillside in an earthquake. But this particular rumbling was coming from inside the house. I set my backpack on the entry table and turned around. The rumbling became a roar, and I looked up the stairs just as the wall of water came rushing down toward me. It was like someone had taken the contents of the pool and dumped them from the second floor. Everything went into slow motion. I had just enough time to scream before the waves smashed into me, knocking me down. For a second, I had that feeling that you get at the beach when a big wave unexpectedly pulls you under, and you can't tell which way is up. Reed came racing out of Jonathan's office and down the stairs. "Willa," he cried. "What happened? Did you fall? Why are you wet?" I couldn't speak. I looked around and saw that aside from me, as wet as a drowned rat, and the wet patch of rug I had landed on, the foyer looked completely ordinary. I said as he reached down to help me up. It's kind of hard to explain. He watched me patiently, and I realized that the way I'd phrased it implied I was going to try and explain, which I wasn't. Time to retreat. Hi, welcome in. I have some stuff going on right now, I said, looking up at him, trying to make my face apologetic. My life has a lot of different aspects. Good God, I can't wake up. I don't quite know how to say it, actually. It's probably better if I don't. Give me 1 second. I can hear my cat. So, I'm gonna go get him. Such a sweet boy. Yeah. What, honey? Are you gonna come cuddle? Come here. Hi, honey. Anyway, back to the story. Yeah, it's story time. Are you gonna curl up and listen to the book? Hi, welcome in. Or are you just gonna stare at me? I don't quite know how to say it, actually. It's probably better if I don't. Yeah, he said. His shoulders dropped slightly. I know what you're trying to say. You do? I asked. He nodded, then reached out and took my hand. What happened between us? Now's not the right time. Maybe in a year or two. But there are too many factors in play at the moment. He thought I was breaking things off between us? Or was he breaking things off with me? Hi, honey. I expected to feel a pang of heartache, but I felt strangely okay. Maybe the fact that a ghost had just sent a tidal wave of water over me distracted me from the memory of Reed's kiss. Reed frowned. But that doesn't explain why you're wet, or why you screamed. What are you doing? You are so sweet. Oh, thank you. Where was I? Well, now that I didn't have to worry about impressing him, I was free to come up with an explanation that made me sound like a lunatic. I fell in the fountain, I said. His eyebrows went up. And then I screamed because sometimes it feels good to scream, you know? I didn't know you were here. Sorry if I alarmed you. My words probably confused him even more, rather than clearing things up, but he nodded slowly. Do you need a towel? He asked. Nah, I said. I'll go change. I gave him the world's awkwardest smile, took my bag from the table, and sailed up the stairs with my head held high, like this was all part of a typical Monday afternoon. Ow. Damn. As I stood in my bathroom combing my wet hair, I ran back through what had just happened. I was surprised to realize that I felt the least bit sad. In fact, I felt strangely relieved. Am I okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Why do you ask? Was it possible that I didn't like Reed as much as I assumed I should? Getting the attention of a guy who could easily be cast as the dashing romantic hero in a movie wasn't the kind of thing you could throw off lightly. And yet, here I was throwing it off pretty lightly. There was no explanation for my reaction. Well, I thought maybe there's someone else you like more than Reed. Time skip. I spent the rest of the afternoon following obscure leads online, trying to figure out why the ghost of Diana Del Mar would feel the need to soak me yet again, and how she. The book's fighting back again. I know it's just the fan, but still. Where was I? And how she could be connected to the offings. If that's even what the visions were supposed to be telling me. But something major was missing, just like Wyatt had said. By dinner time, I built up so much frustrated, nervous energy that I knew I had to burn some off, or I'd be up all night. So after we finished eating, I changed into my swimsuit and went down to the den where Mom was sitting on the couch reading. Can I go swimming? The words were a question, but I knew the tone of my voice implied an or else situation. Yeah, I love reading to you guys. You're just a bird box tonight, aren't you? Sorry, my cat's being adorable. Of course, she said. Do you want me to sit outside with you? I need to sneeze. No, I said, I'm good. You can spy on me through the windows if you feel the urge. The brilliant underwater light sharply defined the tile floor of the pool, each tiny square casting its own little shadow. Okay, this is really starting to bug me. I'll deal with it later. I took a good look around the dead bodies and then started to swim. Or 4 dead bodies and started to swim. Yeah. You know you're not going to be able to stay like that all night, right? You're not taking up the entire bed again. I love him, but I could not move between him and my dad's cat. They are so tiny, yet they both took up the entire room. Or, not room, bed. Anyway. I pulled myself toward the deep end with long, powerful strokes. I thought it might feel different to be in the water after talking to Dr. Tillium. I almost said a completely different word. Yeah. I don't know if we're... Oh. We're at the end of the chapter, but yeah, you made it! But it was pretty much the same as always. I suppose a rational person would consider my father's death reason enough to stay out of the pool for the rest of her life. Not to mention the last terrifying thing that had happened to me in this very pool. Further evidence. Sorry, someone's texting me. Anyway, where was I? Further evidence of how twisted I was. I guess. I couldn't stay away. I was drawn to the water. Maybe it's human nature to be drawn to things that have hurt us the most. I swam until I was hot and panting, so tired that I could have curled up on the tile and fallen asleep. At least the whole thing had gone off without incident until I climbed the steps and wrapped myself in a striped towel and noticed something. No, 2 somethings. Oh my god. My allergies are starting to kick my ass. A pair of small puddles on the tile closest to the pool. When I angled my head, I saw them for what they really were. Footprints. Whoever had left them had been standing at the edge, looking out over the pool, looking at me. The prints led away. I followed their trail. God, I can't talk now either. And found myself standing in front of the guest cottage. Oh. Where they went up the steps and across the small porch. I put my hand on the knob. Willa? I spun around to see Jonathan walking out of the house at a pace that was a hair too fast to be casual. Hey, sorry, he said, coming closer. We never talked about the guest house, I guess. We don't go in there, ever. The wiring's very old, and I haven't had a chance to have somebody come and look at it yet. Uh-huh. Okay, I said, not like I'd really wanted to go in. Great, thanks for understanding. I have a theory forming in my head. Then he stood with his hands on his hips and formed for a moment, looking around. It dawned on me after a few seconds that he wasn't going back inside until I did, so I stepped down off the porch and walked toward the main house, with Jonathan following me a couple of feet behind me. Sorry if I startled you, he said. I was doing dishes and I saw you out the window. You didn't startle me, I said. Or do you want belly rubs? Cats are so sweet. Thank you. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by this cute little furball. I turned to look over my shoulder and saw that, as some part of me had totally expected, the footprints had vanished. All right, well, the dishwasher the dishwasher calls. He made a left into the kitchen, seeming highly relieved to get away from me. Mom glanced up from a book as I passed the den. What was that about? Jonathan came outside because he thought I was going into the guest house, I said. Oh, she frowned. Nobody goes in there. I nodded and started for the stairs. Somebody does. And that, my beautiful, beautiful raindrops, is the end of chapter 26. What? I will be back tomorrow with chapter 27. But until then, please do tell me your thoughts and theories in the comments. I'm always in those comments, and I love hearing your thoughts and theories. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, my beautiful raindrops. Stay spooky, stay weird, stay dreaming, and don't let the Maeve Cats bite.